All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Unit 17. Unit 17 is all about circular three-dimensional objects. Now, we're going to start with a review in 17.1 of area of a circle, because we're going to use that for things later like cylinders and cones. So find the radius and the diameter here, some vocabulary review. The diameter is the distance all the way across through the center. So we would say the diameter here equals 18 inches. The radius is always from the center of the circle to the edge of the circle. And so we would say the radius here is 9 inches. Notice that the diameter will always be the radius times 2, because you take two radii, it's a weird plural, across from each other and you make a diameter, right? 2 times the radius always equals the diameter. So it can be anywhere from the center to the edge for a radius. Notice how the diameter must go through the center. You can, right? This line down here is actually called a chord. We don't really use chords for much in middle school, but you will in high school. Chords go from one edge to the other, but not through the center of the circle. So we want to know how many square units are inside a circle. That's called the area. So the area of the circle equals pi times radius squared. Now, we should all know by now that pi is an irrational number that goes on forever. So you can't actually multiply by pi. So what you end up using in classrooms is an approximation of pi, and so you get an approximate answer, right? The area is approximately 3.14 times the radius squared for the area of a circle. So let's do that. It says approximate the area using 3.14 for pi. So the area is approximately, I almost used an equal sign, is approximately 3.14. That is the radius from the center to the outside. Approximately 3.14 times 5 squared. Exponents get done before multiplying. So it's 3.14 times 25, which is 5 squared. 5 times 4 is 20. Step over. 2 times 314 is 628. Add the 2 rows up and move the decimal twice, and it's 78.5. Now we're seeing how many squares are in here. So this is square inches. 78.5 square inches. And what's going on there is, right, we took 5 inches and we squared it. So we got 78.5 square inches. Pi doesn't have any units. So that's what you're doing today. So try this one. This little mark here means feet. 2 would mean inches. So the area is approximately 3.14 times the radius. Well, which one of those is the radius? It's the 10. This is the chord. We don't use that. So it's 10 squared. So it's 3.14 times 100. Now you could do all that work there, but let's also remember a shortcut we learned. When you multiply by 10, you move the decimal once. You multiply by 100, you move it twice. So the area here is approximately 314 square feet. This means feet, but you can't write that as your square feet. You write FT or the word feet. So its area is approximately 314 square feet. And now if you sit there and multiply that out, you'll get the same answer. Okay, so for the formula, right, it's pi. Notice I use an equal sign when I use the actual symbol for pi, right? So we need the radius. That is not the radius. What is the radius? Well, the radius is this distance radius will always be the diameter divided by 2. So obviously you could do this in your head, but the radius is 4 centimeters. So its area is approximately 3.14 times 4 squared. So it's 3.14 times 16. 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 3 is 18. You get a 3, 1, and 4. We add the 2 rows. Move the decimal twice, and it's 50.24 square centimeters, right? This was 4 centimeters, and we squared it. Try this one. The key is which number there is the radius. None of them. That's the length of that chord. This is 6 meters all the way across. So the radius must be 3 meters. M is for meters, right? Must be 3 meters. It's the diameter divided by 2. So this is 3.14 times 3 squared, or 3.14 times 9. 4 times 9 is 36. Then we get 12, because 9 plus 3, and 9 times 3 is 27, plus 1 is 28. Moving the decimal twice, and we get approximately 28.26 square meters. And you don't say that meters squared, by the way. It's square meters here. And you say this one as square centimeters. It's not in the order that you read it. Now, 3.14 is an approximation of pi. So can you use 3 if you're in a rush? Yeah, of course you can, right? Because 3 is just a little low. You're going to get an answer a little low, but right, you have multiple choice here that answers aren't close, so why not use 3? Speed up the work. That's a chord. That is the radius. So the area is approximately 3 times the radius squared. Well, it's 3 times 7 squared. Well, that's 3 times 49. Now, again, am I going to sit there and do 3 times 49? I could, but 49 is like around 50, right? So 3 times 50 is 150 square inches, right? Which answer is closest to the exact area? That one. And remember what this area means. It means there's approximately 150 little squares in here. Now these ones on the edges all have a weird shape, but they add up to around 150 square inches. Okay, so that is half a circle, also known as a semicircle. So if the whole circle is, right, if the whole circle is pi r squared, what would half a circle be? Well, it would be 1/2 times pi r squared, or pi r squared divided by 2. Either way, sometimes writing it one way will be better, sometimes the other way will be better. So it is approximately, it says use 3 for pi. Isn't that nice? So I'm being nice. So it says use 3 for pi. Then the radius is 8. So 8 squared. And then we're going to divide that all by 2. Let's multiply it by 1/2, in fact. Let's say 1/2 times 3 times 8 squared. So that's 1/2 times 3 times 64. Now I could multiply that out in any order I want. Let's cancel. 2 goes into 64 32 times, right? 2 times 32 is 64. So this is going to be 3 times 32, which is what, 96. Now it's not the exact answer. It's approximate. But so is if I use 3.14. It's 96 square centimeters. All right, so this was half a circle. What fraction of a circle is that? Hopefully you're saying it's 1/4 of a circle. So this is approximately 1/4. It says use 3 for pi again, and the radius is 10 feet. So it's approximately 1/4 times 3 times 100. We can cancel again. 4 goes into 125 times. This is approximately 75 square feet for 1/4 of a circle, right? Half a circle, you multiply by half. 3/4 of a circle, you multiply by 3/4. It's that simple. All right, we're already at the practice. Find the area using 3.14 for pi. So in homework, always read that so you're not doing the wrong one. So it's going to be 3.14 times, right, that's a chord. By the way, that's the way musical chord is spelled. It's totally different meaning. And this is the radius, and that's the symbol for inches. And so 13 squared is 169, right? And so 9 times 4, you can put either one up top because they both have 3 digits. 9 times 4 is 36, and 12, and then 28. Then step over, 6 times 4 is 24, 8, 18. Step over twice, remember that, right? You're multiplying by 1 there. You get a 3, 1, and 4. You add up all 3 rows. 8 plus 8 is 16, plus 4 is 20, and 13, and 53. And so we have 2 numbers to the right of decimal points. And even though that looks very exact, it's approximate. 530.66 square inches for the area. I guess I should write area. All right, so notice, right, this is very approximate. So do I need to use 3.14? No, let's use 3. Pause the video. So let's use 3 times the radius squared. The radius here is not 18. That's the diameter all the way across. So the radius must be 9 centimeters. So the area is approximately 3 times 9 squared. Got to do your exponents first. So 9 squared is 81, right? Well, 80 is 240, right? 3 times 8 is 24. So this is approximately 240, but it's 81. So it's that one, right? So notice even 81 times 3 is not here. I'm trying to use your power of estimation. But the real answer, if you used pi, 3.1415926 with a calculator, would be closest to 250 square centimeters. Our approximation is a little low, but we know it's not the ones below it. So what fraction of a circle is that? Hopefully you realize it's 1/3 of a circle. So it's 1/3 times whatever we're going to use for pi. I'm going to use 3. Ooh, look at how convenient that is. Times the radius squared. So those cancel out, and the radius squared, the radius is 5 inches, so it's 5 squared. It's approximately 25 square inches, right? This one's 25 square inches. This one's 25 square inches. This one's 25 square inches, right? The whole thing is about 75 square inches. Good luck with the homework.